I
Thank you.
love Don't Tell Larry. I think it's a great comedy thrill
Oh,
ride. Was there something about the script or about Kim that drew you to be a part of this?
um, I think when I got the script and stuff and I was reading it, and I believe they had Kyle and Patty already attached, and I was like, oh my God, they're so funny. And then Ed Begley too, and Ken Mosley, who is so funny. It was it was a nice little small cast, and it was as much fun, and probably more fun than I thought it would be.
I'm curious how they broke down Kim for you than originally. Was she originally described as sort of this investigator and
Oh yeah, Kim Hammer is, takes her job very seriously and is pulled in for this incident that happened at Patty's work, and um, I go in to question her, and just like
at
she's
Susan's
like,
work? It comes into Susan's work.
oh, I'm sorry, yes, comes into Susan's work, and then she's just kind of awkward and quirky, and has this whole thing going on with she and her girlfriend, and has no clue that it's Patty, and or who it is rather, and it's just it was just so silly and so fun, and it's one of those things that it looks like you don't have to think about it, but you I did put a lot. I tried to put as much work into it as I could because the boys wrote it so well, and she's a Capricorn and I'm a Capricorn.
Coincidence was means you were meant to be this role.
I hope so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You have great comedic timing, and I think it plays well in this film as well. I'm curious about working alongside Patty in those interrogation moments. Was it hard for you to keep a straight face while you guys are filming this?
Oh my God. Yes. It was. And I think that's part of like what made it so funny is because we were trying to be so serious. And then when we cut, we just die laughing. It was, I just adore her. And it was so much fun to get to do those. And you have these lines and the script, and to get to bring it to life. It was it was just like you said, you try not to laugh or goof, but that's all part of it. That's what makes it even more fun, is trying to get the other person to break.
Well, Greg and John wrote an incredible script, and they also directed this. I'm curious how precious they were when it came to dialogue. Were you able to improv it all?
um you know what, it's been what, 2 years since we did it, and I think a little bit here and there, but honestly their script was so dialed in that you didn't have to go anywhere. You know what I mean? It was, I mean, they were very, liberal with that. And as far as like if whatever we did, and then we'd have takes where we'd pretty much do what was written, and if we added stuff to it, and they were totally fine with it. But then in the edit, they got what they wanted. So that's huge.
What were some of your favorite scenes to film?
Without giving too much away, I think the when we were in the work in Patty's work, and we were in where the small room, the closet, and then the outside scenes around the house, because that was like the middle of the night, and it was you just get so punch sleepy that it was so much fun, and it's like you can't complain, and I would never complain because this is a gift, and I don't say going to work, I say going to recess, because we go and we play and we have fun. And at this age, that's all I want to do is have fun and work with good people like these folks, and I would do anything else they ever asked me to do. And that goes with the cast too. I mean, I adore Patty and Kyle and Kenneth, and it's like, and getting I didn't get to really work with Ed Begley, but I had met him previously through the years, and it's just such a sweet, kind man. Yeah.
This is, I think, going to be a cult classic quickly. What do you think it is about Don't Tell Larry that's just going to make it one of those hits that people watch, you know, as a great cheer me up film?
Well, it's a great cheer me up film, but then on the other side it's this dark comedy that and a little bit of a thriller, and or not a little bit, a thriller. And I think it's the unexpected. I'm trying not to give so much away, Jane. Um, but like when I think people will dig it if this is like your genre and you're, if you're into thrillers, but I mean, it's not a bloody horror type film almost, but no, but just, it's that little, what I always say, I think it comes through in the actors and stuff of how much fun they're having and how dedicated they are to the roles that's why I love doing indie films is because everybody and we had an amazing casting crew. The crew was amazing. Everybody who was there, the boys, um, geez, I can't even think. Um, who was I going to say?
Greg and Mike?
Greg and John.
Oh, John, excuse me. Yes, great.
Yeah, Greg and John were just adorable, and everybody was so sweet and so much fun. And like one of the nights we got to go out and have dinner, it was the cast and the boys, directors and writers, and it was just it was so sweet. Very seldom do you work on a project where you feel like you've known these people for 20 years, and that to me is huge because it's just a good connection and a good it makes you feel good. And I think too, when you connect so much and you just laugh and have fun, that it makes you want to do even better for them. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I always give my all, don't get me wrong, but it makes it a little bit more effortless, you know. You hope, and you hope it comes across like that.
You have this extensive career that's so beautiful and long lasting. What are some of your favorite projects you've been a part of?
Oh wow. Well, this one was fun because it was doing something fun, and I got to go to Texas and eat some killer barbecue. But uh, this one was really fun. I wished it had been longer. Do you know? I wish I'd got to be there like a few months, but it was fun. I have another film coming out in I think November. Don't Lost and Found in Cleveland, and it's an incredible cast. My God, it's oh my God, from June Squibb to Stacy Keach to oh my God, Loretta Devine, who I love, and Dennis Haysbert, Charlie Sheen, or Martin Sheen, his dad, Martin Sheen,
Wow.
who was probably one of the nicest people I've ever worked with in my life. And this is going on my 34th year. And he is, if not number one, number two. And June Squibb, I've known for years.
Wow.
And she's 94 years old. And my God, I wish I had her memory now. But I mean, that's probably one of my favorites. And then, God, they're all my favorites in certain ways, you know? And of course, working on Glee was a favorite. Um, I did a film. It was supposed to be like 15-minute episodes. And it was when this one streaming site came out. I can't remember what year I did it. It was called Black Pill, but it ended up not going to that. They ended up uh, um, editing it into one film, and it's called Dead Women Walking. And it's actually, you can see it on streaming on oh my God, I'm so bad, I wasn't even thinking about this before I said that. um it's about these, I think there's 7 of us or 8 of us, women that are on their last days before they're executed on death row. And um, different stages, different ages, different races, and we're all just in these little, in a sense, vignettes that are
Oh,
like 15, 20 minutes. And I had read only my script, and when I saw the film, I had not read all, because it was supposed to be just a 15-minute episode. I was a mess. I was crying. Oh my God. That's one of the ones that I wished it had. Hagar Ben-Asher, she wrote it and directed it. And wonderful, wonderful lady. And I would do anything that woman wrote
yeah.
or directed. And it's the ones like that that mean the world, because it's another independent that, the thing about independence, I just got done doing one called Breeder. And it's about this woman, a crazy woman who's a dog breeder. And it was up in Vancouver for 6 weeks. And it was another independent that'll be out, I hope, within a year. And there's just something about it where everybody wants to be there when you're on an indie. And I'm not saying that folks on big budget films, it just, I think too, it also is that it's a smaller, more intimate cast and crew. So
You're there for the art and
yeah,
helping people get experience more than
yeah.
you are for the paycheck.
Oh, absolutely. And for myself, every job is a learning experience. Every audition is a learning experience. You never stop learning. And if you shut yourself down to that, then yeah, you can't go into this with blinders on, because it never works out that way.
Today marks 16 years since the premiere of Glee. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the legacy and how new fans are finding the meaning, and this show is kind of resonating with them now.
I love that, and I can't believe it's been 16 years. I came on in season two, two, three, four, and 5. I was a guest star, and then in season 6, Ryan made me a series regular. But it was it was actually career changing for me because of being nominated my first 3 years on air as a guest star actor for an Emmy. I still seems surreal. And I know people always say, oh, it's not about winning, it's about being nominated. It truly is, because you feel like you won anyway, even, and a statue doesn't take that feeling away or make it any different to me. It's just, I have so much gratitude and so grateful for Brad, Ryan, and Ian for creating Beast for me. And I had worked with them on Nip Tuck, and I'd done a pilot for Ryan called and Brad called Pretty Handsome, and it was probably one of the best things I had done to date. And we did that pilot at the same time they were doing the Glee pilot, and I played a trans character on that, and Alexandria Billings played my wife, and who she is one of the most lovely people I've ever met as well, and worked with Joseph Fine, Carrie Ann Moss, Robert Wagner, Niecy Nash, my first time working with Niecy, and Blythe Danner. It was an incredible, incredible cast. And it was a series, and it didn't get picked up. And I think it was a little bit ahead of its time back then in 2010 rather. And it was with Ryan and Brad, and I'm like, I'll do anything they ever ask me to do. So, but with Glee, it's so many memories. And so I just did Jenna and Kevin's podcast again the other day. And I
Oh,
just, I say those kids because I'm old enough to be their mom, grandma.
they were kids though too, kind of when you worked with them. They were still, fresh faces.
They were. And they're as adorable and sweet and amazing as they were then, since day one. So yeah, it's awesome.
I have to say, I love seeing the videos of you on Instagram with the little boy from MasterChef Junior. He is just like the sweetest.
Ah,
You guys have become like best of friends. I feel like I want to hang out with you and make like dinner with him at some point and just, like have you mentor me in anything in my life. I think that's the sweetest relationship that you have developed from social media and you've become such good
he's
friends.
honey. One of the things about Ben is I forgot. Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't mention this. Ben steals the show. He's in Lost and Found in Cleveland, and Lost and Found in Cleveland is based on it's kind of like Antiques Roadshow, and Ben and I met on that and and Bridget and I, my wife and I, had seen him on the kids baking championships or challenge.
That's what it was.
And
Yes, kids baking.
yeah, and we fell in love with him on that. I think he was 8 years old when he did that. And I think um, oh my God, he just had a
I'm
birthday.
sorry, he was so cute. He just, he didn't care about anything and they all made such good friends. I mean, it's so funny how different it is from the other shows because they're like they drop stuff and then they still serve
Yeah.
it. But kids are like the innocent babes, so like they were so sweet
Yeah.
with every single one, and the kids just made such good friends. But I love seeing the videos of the two of you just made this fast friendship, and you can tell it's lifelong. I mean, what is it
Yeah.
about Ben that you really made you take an interest in him so much?
He's hilarious. He has the biggest heart. He's hilarious. He's very smart and knowledgeable about his baking. Like I'll send him, Mandy, his mama, a text and I'll say, hey, what would Ben do on blah, blah, blah. And so Ben will either call or we'll FaceTime. And then when they were out here for Lost and Found in Cleveland was at uh, um, a film festival.
I
It
was
was
gonna
down
say,
in Orange. It was in Orange County. But I mean, we had fun because like the Mets is his team because he's in Chicago or he's in New Jersey, and the Mets is his team. They were here playing the Dodgers, so we went. The Bridget and I went with he and his mom and dad and their sister or his sister, and went to the game. And then the year before that, last year, Ben was in his school play, so Bridget and I walked back or flew back to go see his school play. And then that's when we did our first video of cooking together. It was at his house. So then when we did this last one, he was here. So we got to do that, and we just have fun. We went to Universal and had a blast. Universal was very gracious and took really good care of us, and it's always amazing up there. And he had never been, so we had so much fun. And it there's just something about him that he's so genuine and confident, but not cocky. I mean, he's a black belt in Taekwondo and actually teaches some of the classes. And it's like, so he's got that self awareness
yeah, he's
and
got a
just,
drive, self-awareness, and
yeah,
strength to him.
without being cocky. Because he's so funny. Oh my God, he's so funny. And we have so much fun. And again, it's like, even though he's 10 or 11, I feel like I've known him 20 years. He's a good kid. I love him and his family. They're good people.
Well, as I mentioned, you've had this wonderful career, and everyone, including myself, just cheers you on for the
Um,
wonderful work you do on our screens. And I have to say, this is such a trying time in politics and things like that, but to see you continue to thrive means so much to me and so many other people who love and support LGBT community. Is there something
Thank
you'd
you.
like to say to people who are fans, who are supporters of the work you do on our screens, and
Um,
how you would like
I,
them to get involved in sort of helping the trans community a little bit more too as well?
you know what? Just be proud of who you are. God don't make junk. We're all here for a reason. And I honor and thank each and every one of you because if it weren't for fans, I wouldn't have a job. No actors would have a job. Some of them forget that. But if it weren't for fans that supported us in what we were doing, I wouldn't have had a job. The show would have been, over. So the gratitude runs from my heart, and I am so grateful for that. And I hope y'all get a chance to see Don't Tell Larry, because it is hilarious and it's silly and it's fun and we had a blast.